Hello, students. In the previous chapter, we have studied the pattern of inheritance and genetic basis of inheritance proposed by Mendel. He used the word factor to explain the inheritance of characters in garden pea plant. At that time, DNA was not discovered and its structure was not known. In today's presentation, we have to study chapter number 6, Molecular Basis of Inheritance, from Unit 7, Genetics and Evolution. According to the syllabus, we have to study totally 10 points. That is 6.1, the DNA, structure of polynucleotide chain, and packaging of DNA helix. 6.2, the search for genetic material. In that, we have to study the genetic material is DNA, Griffith and Avray experiment, and properties of genetic material, DNA versus RNA. 6.3, RNA world. 6.4, replication. In that, we have to study the machinery and the enzymes. 6.5, transcription. In that, we have to study transcription unit and the gene, types of RNA and the process of transcription. 6.6, genetic code. In that, we have to study transfer RNA, the adapter molecule. 6.7, translation. 6.8, regulation of gene expression. In that, we have to study lac operon concept. 6.9, human genome project. In that, we have to study silent features of human genome and application and future challenges. And the last point is 6.10, DNA fingerprinting. So, under this chapter, total points we have to study 6.10. 10 points we have to study. Today, we start with first point, that is 6.1, the DNA. In that, we study structure and packaging of the DNA. Before that, introduction. Nucleic acids. Nucleic acids are the macromolecules present in all living cells. Friedrich Mescher was the first person to isolate nucleic acid from the pus cell. He called as nuclein. As it has an acidic nature, hence Altman called it as nucleic acids. The two types of nucleic acids found in living organisms are first, deoxyribonucleic acid DNA and ribonucleic acid RNA. So here the nucleic acids are polymers of nucleotides and they are of two types, DNA and RNA. DNA long form is deoxyribonucleic acid and RNA ribonucleic acid. DNA acts as a genetic material in most of the organisms, whereas RNA acts as genetic material only in some viruses. RNA also acts as a messenger, adapter, and catalytic molecule. Let us begin with understanding chemical structure of DNA and RNA. Structure of polynucleotide chain. DNA, RNA. They are polynucleotide chain. A nucleotide is made up of three components. First, a nitrogen base. Second, pentose sugar. The sugar in DNA is deoxyribose sugar and in RNA it is ribose sugar. And third is phosphate group. Nitrogen bases, nitrogen containing compounds. Two types, purines. They are adenine and guanine. And pyrimidines are cytosine, uracil, and thymine. Adenine, guanine, and cytosine both are present in DNA and RNA. Whereas thymine is present only in DNA, uracil is present only in RNA. In place of a thymine, thymine is present in DNA, and in RNA, instead of thymine, the uracil is present. Nitrogen bases linked to the pentose sugar through N-glycosidic linkage. And when such linkage is there, it is called as a nucleoside. So here, chemically, the DNA and RNA, they are made up of three components, that is the pentose sugar, phosphate group, and nitrogen bases. In DNA, the sugar is deoxyribose. Deoxy means one oxygen is less. Molecular formula is C5H10O4. Whereas in RNA, the sugar is ribose, C5H10O5. That sugar is called the ribose sugar, and when oxygen is less, it is called as a deoxyribose sugar. Both are pentose sugars, 5 carbons. But in case of a DNA, one oxygen is less, therefore it is called as a deoxyribose. Phosphate group. Phosphate group is present in the form of phosphoric acid molecule, and the molecular formula is H3PO4. It is same in both. And the third is nitrogen bases. Nitrogen bases, purines and pyrimidines. Here, purines are double ring structures, whereas pyrimidines are single ring structures. Purines are adenine, guanine, whereas pyrimidines are cytosine and thymine. And in case of RNA, instead of thymine, uracil is present. So here the purines and pyrimidines you have to remember. So AG, adenine and guanine, they are purines. And you can remember CUT, cut, that is C means cytosine, U means uracil, T means thymine. All the three are pyrimidines, but the thymine is present in DNA and uracil is present in RNA. Here you will get an idea regarding the chemical structure which I have explained you just now. See here, DNA, it is a polynucleotide. Here nitrogen base, deoxyribose, pentose sugar and phosphate group. Three components. Nitrogen bases, purines and pyrimidines. Which are the purines? Adenine and guanine. They are the purines. Which are the pyrimidines? Cytosine and thymine. Whereas in RNA, it is also a polynucleotide. It is also consisting of three components: nitrogen bases, pentose sugar and phosphate group. Nitrogen bases, purines and pyrimidines. Purines are adenine and guanine. It is same, both DNA and RNA. Only the pyrimidine, here the cytosine and uracil is present. Here cytosine and thymine is present. In DNA, thymine is present. In RNA, the uracil is present. In RNA, the pentose sugar is ribose. And here the phosphate group, which is present in the form of phosphoric acid molecule. So DNA and RNA, the chemical structure, only change is there in sugar. The sugar in DNA, it is deoxyribose. Here in RNA, ribose. Phosphoric acid molecule is same in both. And in nitrogen bases, one of the nitrogen base changes. In DNA, thymine is present. In RNA, uracil is present. It is necessary to know about what is mean by the nucleoside and what is mean by the nucleotide. The compounds formed by combination of pentose sugar and nitrogen base. When pentose sugar and nitrogen base, when they are linked together by N-glycosidic linkage, it is called as a nucleoside. It is called as a nucleoside. And here you will find in DNA molecule, deoxyribose sugar combines with nitrogen bases, isn't it? So in DNA, I have told you the thymine is present. So adenine plus deoxyribose sugar, deoxyadenosine. Guanine, deoxyribose sugar, deoxyguanosine. Cytosine, deoxyribose sugar, deoxycytidine. And thymidine, that is thymine plus deoxyribose sugar, deoxythymidine. So deoxyadenosine, deoxyguanosine, deoxycytidine and deoxythymidine. These are 4 nucleosides of DNA. Whereas nucleosides of RNA are only adenosine, guanosine, cytidine and thymidine. Because deoxyribose sugar is present in DNA. Therefore, you are calling it as a deoxyadenosine. But in case of a RNA, just you have to call it as a adenosine, guanosine, cytidine, and here what will come? In a RNA, it is a uridine. Got it? So here, next is nucleotides. The compounds formed by the combination of phosphate group with nucleoside is called as a nucleotide. When all the three are linked, it will form a nucleotide. Phosphate group is linked to nucleoside through 5' OH of nucleoside through a phosphoester linkage, corresponding nucleotides. So the four types of nucleotides present in DNA are deoxyadenosine monophosphate, deoxyguanosine monophosphate, deoxycytidine monophosphate, deoxythymidine monophosphate. So it is a deoxy. It is present in a DNA. In case of a RNA, only adenosine monophosphate, guanosine monophosphate, cytidine monophosphate, and here it will come uridine monophosphate, because in RNA, instead of thymine, uracil is present. So uridine monophosphate. So nucleoside and nucleotide. Nucleoside means a combination of pentose sugar and nitrogen base, and they are joined by N-glycosidic linkage. The bond between them is called as a N-glycosidic linkage. And when phosphate group is linked to the nucleoside, phosphate group is linked to the nucleoside through phosphoester linkage. The linkage is phosphoester linkage. It will form nucleotide. When all the three are there, it is called as a nucleotide. And only two components, that is pentose sugar and nitrogen base, it is a nucleoside. Here, nucleoside, the linkage is N-glycosidic linkage, and here the phosphate group is linked to nucleoside through phosphoester linkage. So that is the nucleoside and the nucleotide. Our next point is to know about the double helical structure of DNA. So here, James Watson and Francis Crick first proposed the structural model of DNA in 1953. They got Nobel Prize for their work in 1962. They proposed double helical model for structure of DNA. The structure of DNA is as follows. The two polynucleotide chains, the backbone of polynucleotide is formed by sugar phosphate and bases project inside. The two chains anti-parallel polarity. One chain has polarity 5', 3', and other chain have 3', 5'. Bases of two strands projecting inside paired through hydrogen bonds, H bond, and they form base pairs. Adenine forms two hydrogen bonds with thymine, whereas guanine forms 3 hydrogen bonds with cytosine. Purines come opposite with pyrimidines, generates uniform distance between the two strands of helix. The two chains coiled right-handed fashion. Pitch of the helix is 3.5 nanometer. The pitch of the helix is the width of one complete helix turn, measured parallel to the axis of the helix. 10 base pair in each turn. Distance between a base pair in helix is 0.34 nanometer. Plane of one base pair stacks over the other in double helix. Addition to H bond confers stability. Stability of the DNA structure due to H bond and stacking of nitrogen bases. So these are the important characteristics of the DNA double helical structure. Generally in the exam, they will ask to write down at least 5 important characteristics of the double-stranded DNA molecule. That is the model proposed by Watson and Crick. So you must able to write down the 5 important characteristics. Now, I would like to share one memory technique here. You can remember the characters by remembering the alphabets. That is the first alphabet A. A means you remember anti-parallel polarity. the two chains show anti-parallel polarity. It means what? One chain, when it has the polarity 5' to 3', the other will have 3' to 5'. That is called as the anti-parallel, A, first property. Then you can remember B, that is the backbone. The backbone of polynucleotide chain is formed by the sugar phosphate. Sugar and phosphate, these units alternately present and they will form backbone. And in between them, the nitrogen bases are present. Nitrogen bases, they project inside. So second character you can remember regarding the B, that is backbone. Third character you can remember the complementary base pairing. Complementary base pairing means what? Always adenine pairs with the thymine, and in between them the two hydrogen bonds are present. Adenine pairs with thymine with two hydrogen bonds, whereas guanine pairs with cytosine with 3 hydrogen bonds. So third characters you can remember C, that is complementary base pairing. Then comes the fourth one. Fourth alphabet is D. You can remember the dimensions. So dimensions here, the pitch of the helix is 3.4 nanometer. That is the first important thing. 10 base pairs in each turn or pitch. And the distance between the base pair is 0.34 nanometer. So all this you can remember the dimension in the fourth point, that is a D. And the last point regarding the stability. That stability, how the stability get? It is due to the hydrogen bond between the nitrogen bases, and stacking of nitrogen bases will also helpful to give the stability to the DNA structure. So the 5 points you can remember: A is antiparallel, B is backbone, C is complementary base pairing, D is dimensions, and the fifth one is the stability. Got it? A, B, C, D, 4 alphabets, and last character is stability. So this is one of the memory technique by remembering the alphabets and related to the characteristics. Here in this slide you will find the adenine pairs with thymine with 2 hydrogen bonds, and guanine pairs with cytosine with 3 hydrogen bonds. It is called as a complementary base pairing. Adenine with thymine, 2 hydrogen bonds, guanine with cytosine, 3 hydrogen bonds. And again, here you can see that the DNA structure, it look like a twisted ladder shaped structure. This is a ladder, and if you twist it, it will get the structure like this. So here also you will find the antiparallel polarity, one strand running 5' to 3', another strand running 3' to 5'. And here you will find the sugar phosphate backbone. The backbone is sugar phosphate, and these horizontal steps are nothing but the nitrogen bases. Here you will find the double helical structure of the DNA. So this is a diagrammatic representation of double helical model of the DNA. Our next point is packaging of DNA helix. So here the length of typical double DNA helix in mammalian is calculated as 2.2 meters. So the length of the DNA is far more than the dimension of the cell, and that is nothing but the packaging of the DNA helix. Cells, there are two types of cells, eukaryotes and the prokaryotes. So in eukaryotic cells, the DNA is localized inside the nucleus. So nucleus is present, a prominent nucleus is present in eukaryotic cells. Whereas in prokaryotic cells like E. coli, that is a bacteria, they come under the prokaryotes. They don't have definite nucleus, and you will find the DNA is not scattered throughout in the cell. So here the DNA is negatively charged and protein is the positively charged. DNA is negatively charged and protein is positively charged. DNA held with positive charge proteins and the region termed as a nucleoid. It is called as a nucleoid. DNA in nucleoid organized in large loops held by a protein. So, in case of a prokaryotes, you will find there is no definite nucleus. Therefore, what happens? The DNA held with positive charge proteins, and that region is called as a nucleoid. So nucleoid is present in a prokaryotes, whereas in eukaryotes well organized nucleus is present. Therefore, what will happen? The DNA forms complex with positively charged protein histones. So in eukaryote, you will find proteins histones are present, and these proteins acquired positive charge due to the presence of basic amino acids, that is lysines and arginines. Amino acid residue, they will have the positive charge in the side chain. Here you will find the diagrammatic representation. Here the nucleosome model, which is in the eukaryotes. So DNA is wrapped around this protein, and this protein, it is called as a octomer. And here you will find there will be 2 molecules of H2A, 2 molecules of H2B, 2 molecules of H3, and 2 molecules of H4. So H2A, H2B, H3 and H4, 2 molecules each will form the octomer, and that is made up of the histone. And here you will find there is a linker DNA that it is associated with H1 histone. So this is a nucleosome model present in the eukaryotes. Here you will find how the arrangement takes place. So here in between this nucleosome model, the H1, it is called as a linker DNA. It attaches in between 2 molecules of this nucleosome. So here you will find they looks like beads on a string in chromatin package. Chromatin fibers further coiled and condensed during the metaphase chromosomes. So in the metaphase chromosome, you will get the clear structure. Packaging of chromatin requires additional set of proteins that is called as a non-histone chromosomal proteins. They are called as a non-histone chromosomal proteins. Typical nucleus shows 2 regions. The chromatin loosely packed, it is called as a euchromatin. The euchromatin where the chromatins are loosely packed and they are transcriptionally active. And in another region, the chromatins are densely packed, it is called as a heterochromatin, and they are transcriptionally inactive. So difference between the euchromatin and heterochromatin. Euchromatin, it is a region of chromatin where they are loosely packed and they are transcriptionally active. And densely packed region of chromatin is called as a heterochromatin. They are the transcriptionally inactive. So here in today's presentation, we have studied helical structure of DNA and as well as the packaging of the DNA. Thank you.